Hi friends, Namaste. I am Anantha Sharma. So now I propose to discuss the chart of Dr. BV Raman. So under this topic, that is the teachers, scholars, writers, uh, the profession signified signifying or profession of the natives or singers or teachers or scholars. So there's something. Please connect. So the native of this chart is Dr. BV Raman, the renowned astrologer, who is our guru or Parama Guru. So his formal education is just average. He was only a science graduate, BSc with chemistry, botany, zoology, CBZ combination. But he earned an everlasting worldwide fame as a scholar in astrology and an author of more than a dozen good books and good books on astrology, which are read and followed even today after, say, about 90 years or 80 years. So he edited and published the astrological magazine, a journal on astrology, for about 60 years, 60. So we have to study in this chart the combinations for the following. The native is a scholar in astrology, so you have to find out a formula for that. Verify a formula for that. Then is an author of a number of books of a very high quality. Number three, edited and published the journal on astrology, that is the astrological magazine, for 60 years. Then as a businessman, so business is not simply because he sells books, publishes and sells books. He publishes and sells astrological magazine. So buying and selling that is business. So we have to find out the combination for the businessman in his chart. Now, here in this chart, see, let us know, study the Yoga, Raja, Karakas, etc. We must study all these things in every chart. So let us see this. Here, the Janma Lagna is Kumbha. The sun is in Karnataka and aspects Lagna. In D9 chart, the sun is in Makara, occupying the Lagna. And D3 chart, the sun is in Mithuna and the sun aspects Lagna from Mena. So sun is Yogada. Then who is sun? We must note that also. Note. Then sun is the Amarchakaraka and also the lord of Simha, which is the Arudha Lagna and Karakamsa Lagna, Arudha Lagna, Karakamsa Lagna, and its lord is sun, and he is Yogada. Then moon sign is Vrushabha. The sun aspects the moon sign in D1 chart. And we have already seen the sun aspects the Lagnas in D9 and D3 charts. So this is a Vishesha Prabhu Yoga and the sun is the Raja Yoga Karaka. Then there is another one. Then Janma Lagna is Kumbha and the Ghatika Lagna is in Vrushabha and Hora Lagna is in Kanya. So Hora Lagna cannot be aspected by the same planet aspecting Vrushabha and Kumbha. So we must see Kumbha, sun is the planet who is aspecting Janma Lagna, Kumbha, and also the Ghatika Lagna. So again, sun is the Raja Karaka. That means sun is the all-important planet in the horoscope. In the D3 chart, the Lagna is in Mithuna, and both Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna fall in Kanya. So, Sun, the Jupiter, Sun, Jupiter, and Jupiter from Mena, Saturn from Kanya, and Mercury from Dhanus are aspecting the Lagna, Hora Lagna, and Ghatika Lagna. This is a Raja Yoga. Of course, a little inferior Raja Yoga called Alpa Prabhu Yoga. Here, Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and are the Raja Yoga Karakas. Then we must analyze who are these Raja Yoga Karakas. So, Sun, already Yogada, is and he is Amarchakaraka. Then Saturn, the Jnatikaraka, and the Lord of Kumbha, which is 10th from A10 Vrishaba, the third from A3 Dhanus, and also the fifth from A5 Tola. See, one sign has the importance, such a great importance. Third from A3, fifth from A5, and the 10th from A10. So again, in this 10th from A10 is important. So 10th from A10 is connected to 5th from A5 and 3rd from A3. It hints that this profession is connected to the 5th house and 3rd house. That's simple. So we have to see the connections, the pattern of the padas. Jupiter is the Uttarakaraka, Lord of A3 and also the Lord of 7th from A7, Mithuna, A7 Mithuna, and A3 is in Dhanus. So Mercury is the Lord of Arudhalabha and also the Lord of A7, Dharapada. So Dharapada is important because 7th house signifies business. Dharapada is the Arudha of the 7th house. So then Argala, how Argala is there, see. So the planets aspecting Janmalagna, Horalagna, Gatikalagna in the D3 chart and the nature of the Karkatwas of those planets are explained. Argala. Argala may be examined with reference to Yogada or any Pada or any planet aspecting any Pada or Janmalagna. So Yogada may be verified from any of these reference points. Here, Sun is the Yogada. Rajayoga Karaka is aspecting the three Lagnas and who is aspecting the moon sign in D1 chart. Also the Lagnas in D9 and D3 charts. Who is aspecting Janma Lagna, Ghatika Lagna, Hora Lagna in D1 chart. Janma Lagna and Ghatika Lagna in D1 chart. And who is aspecting Janma, Hora, Ghatika Lagna in the D3 chart. So if there is yoga for Sun, it is all powerful. So Sun is the all-important planet in this chart. Sun is in Karkataka. He has three planets, Venus, Mercury, and Ketu in the second house. Two planets, Saturn and exalted moon in the 11th house, Vrishaba. So see the nature and lordships of the Karkatwas of these Argala Kartas Vekal. K5 is the Tula and also the Dharakaraka DK. Dharakaraka is the Karaka of the 7th house who signifies business. So, now Mercury, giving out the nature and Karkatas of each planet having occupying the Argala houses. First is Venus. Venus is the Lord of 8 and Vrishaba. Lord of A5 in Tola and also the Dharakaraka. So then Mercury. The Mercury is the Lord of Arulabha Midhuna, Lord of Dharapada in Midhuna, which is the which signifies business. The natural karka for astrology, publication of journals and books. Then Mars is the Ratrakaraka BK, who signifies the publications. Then Moon is the Atmakaraka. Saturn is the Lord of Kumbha, which is, we have already told you a number of times, advanced the Lord of 10th from A10, 3rd from A3, and 5th from A5. So Saturn is the key planet, Sun and Saturn, Kumbha. So this implies that Saturn signifies all the three padas, A5, A10, and A3 also. Further, Rahu occupies the Kwana, ninth house from Yogada Sun. So here, Rahu should not occupy 5, 9, and 12. Trikona Vyaya Sthanas. Rahu should not occupy Trikona Vyaya Sthanas. Trikona means Kona house is 5th house or 9th house. And Trikona Vyaya Sthanas, 12th house. So if you say first house, 5th house, or 9th house, then the 12th house should not be occupied by any planet, which is also Rahu. So if Arudha Vyaya is occupied or aspected by Rahu, it is great, a Avayoga. So Saturn is the lord of Kumbha, all important, fifth from A5, third from A10, and from A10, lord of Kumbha. Further, Rahu occupies Kona, the 9th house from Yogadasa, which is not good. But the 5th house from Sun is occupied by Jupiter, another Kona. 5th house is another Kona. Had Rahu is not there in that Kona, 9th house, this Jupiter is wonderful. But because that is Rahu is not desirable in the 9th house, well, Jupiter, I think to some extent, he compensates. So further, then the Arudha Lagna falls in Simha. Arudha Labha, Viduna, and Arudha Vyaya is Karkataka. The Koshapada here too falls in Karkataka, which is the second house from here to Simha. Koshapada A2 falls in Karkataka. Second from A2 falls in Simha. Same as Arudha. So second from A2 is Simha. That means A2 falls in Arudha Vyaya. Just like, right, A2 falls in Arudha Vyaya. What it tells us? So for example, if Makara is the Lagna, Saturn is there in Makara. Arudha Lagna becomes Makara itself. Then the second house from Lagna is Kumbha. Lord of Kumbha is in the 12th from Kumbha, that is Makara. Therefore, Koshapada becomes Dhanush. So Koshapada is in the 12th house from Arudha Lagna. So same case. Then the lords play an important role. So this means Koshapada A2 is Arudha Lagna, and so Koshapada A2 is Arudha Vyaya. So you have to see the lords. If the lords are good, okay, the results may not be so bad. So the lord of Koshapada A2, that is moon, is on 23 degrees 41 minutes in Vrishabha. That is second half in a even sign. That is Sun Hora. So the Hora false is Sun Hora Simha. So in D2 chart, Hora chart, this is good because Sun aspect is in Simha in the Hora chart. Simha is Arudha, it is not Arudha Vyaya. So lot of second from A2, Sun falls in Rasi, Hora in the Ravi Hora in the D2 chart. That is, the second from A2 is already in Simha. Now we have seen that both lords of A2 and the second from A2, Moon and Sun, are already in Simha in Arudha Lagna, but not in Arudha Vyaya. So only one factor, that is A2 is in Arudha Vyaya. Also the lord of Arudha Labha, Mercury, is in Sun Hora. It is also not in Arudha Vyaya. So financially not very bad. So hence a second from A2, the lord of second from A2, the lord of Arudha Labha, Mercury, are all in Sun's Hora, that is Hora or the Arudha Lagna. But Moon, the second from the A2, and also the lord of Arudha Vyaya, joins the group of Mercury, Sun, and Venus in D2 chart in Arudha Vyaya. So this is bad luck, means this lord of A2 is in Sun Hora. It is not Arudha Jaya. But what happens is, if second Lord of second from A2 falls in Arudha Jaya, what happens? So this is it. See, the moon Lord of A2, Lord of Koshapada, and also the Lord of Arudha Jaya. When Arudha Lagna is Simha, Arudha Jaya is Karkataka. Lord of Arudha Labha is good. Lord of Arudha Lagna is good. Arudha Labha is good. But Lord of Arudha Jaya joins these two, Lord of Arudha Lagna and Lord of Arudha Labha. That is one speck of salt in milk, a part of milk. So the Lords of Arudha Jaya joins this group of Mercury, Sun, and Venus in the D2 chart, which indicates unnecessary expenditure. This appears like the Lord of Arudha Jaya joining the Arudha Labha. A2 is already in Arudha Jaya. So the expenditure always outweighs the income. So uncontrollable expenditure, that's all. Then now let us see how his D24 chart explains his education. See the D24 chart here displayed there. Sri Raman published a book, My Experiences in Astrology, so which is like his autobiography. So his formal education was just average. He passed BSc. He learned astrology from his grandfather up to some basics level, and the rest is by self effort, self study. So let me try to explain his knowledge and education through the D24 chart. The Putrapada A5 is in Tola. So the starting point is Tola, and we have to study only 6 factors. A5, fifth from A5, their last 4, and Putra Karaka, only 5. So if we study these, the common relationship must be there. So if we try, if it is there, okay. If it is not there, at least let A5 and the fifth from A5 be, or Putra Karaka be strong. So let me explain his knowledge to 324 chart. The Putra Pada A5 is Tola. The fifth from A5 is Kumbha. Both A5 and the fifth from A5 are vacant in D24. So they are not occupied by any planet. But A5 Tola is aspected by Jupiter, that is the Putrakaraka. Already connection between Putrapada and Putrakaraka is established now. So A5 Tola is aspected by Jupiter, Putrakaraka, and the fifth from A5, that is Kumbha, is aspected by Mercury. A5 is aspected by Jupiter, fifth from A5 is aspected by Mercury. Both planets are they signify astrology and education. The Matrakaraka and the Lord of A9. This is a very strong point. Both A5 and the fifth from A5 are aspected by the Karakas of astrology and astronomy, that is Jupiter and Mercury. See, the lords of A5, Venus, and the lord of fifth from A5, that is Saturn. The lord of A5 Venus is debilitated. Lord of A5 Venus is debilitated in Kanya. That is the 12th house from A5, which is not good. And then the lord of fifth from A5 Kumbha is Saturn. He is in Mena aspecting debilitated Venus. Even lord of fifth from A5 also is not connected to A5 or fifth from A5. But Lord of A5 and Lord of fifth from A5 are connected to each other. That appears good. But here see, this is Jnatikaraka is Saturn and Venus is debilitated. What happens if these two are aspecting each other? Luckily, they are not connected to A5 or fifth from A5. So, the lords of A5 Venus and the fifth from A5 Saturn are in mutual aspect, no doubt. But They are connected to the 12th house from A5, that is Kanya. Then also Saturn is the Jnati Karaka GK. Even though Saturn is the lord of the fifth from A5, it is good that GK is not connected to A5 or to the fifth from A5. But GK is good only where A3 is important and A6 is important. So for profession signified by third house, for example, here the publication. So for publication, A3 is important. Wherever there is A3, GK also is there. So he is connected to A3, Lord of A3 and PK are necessarily connected to GK in almost all the horoscopes. So any horoscope for that matter. But the Lord of A5, Venus in debilitation, occupying the 12th house from A5 is not good. See the AK moon, AMK sun, Ketu, the natural karka for astrology, exalted Mars in Makara. These four planets are isolated. They are in Makara. But let's not think that they are isolated. They are connected to education and another way. We are studying from the angle of A5, fifth from A5, etc. And Jaimini gives the combinations for education through Karakansha Lagna. Second from Karakansha Lagna and fifth from Karakansha Lagna. So Mars and Makara, all the four planets are aspecting and being aspected by the Putra Karaka PK Jupiter in Vrishabha. This is an important combination. Jupiter is in Vrishabha. And this combination, Sun, Moon, and then Mars, Ketu are in Makara. So PK aspects all these planets. So that is the exalted planet is there. PK aspected by exalted planet. PK aspected by Atmakaraka. PK aspected by Amarchakaraka. How strong is Jupiter? So the AMK, AK moon, AMK sun, Ketu the natural karaka for astrology, and exalted Mars are in Makara. All these four planets are aspecting and being aspected by the Putrakaraka PK in Purushabha. So this is at once the combination of Atmakaraka moon and Putrakaraka Jupiter, Atmakaraka moon and AMK sun and Putrakaraka Jupiter, and PK Jupiter, and in mutual aspect with exalted Mars, and also Jupiter is in mutual aspect with Mercury in Karnataka. See here, Mars is BK, Bhratrukaraka. Putrakaraka is in mutual aspect with Bhratrukaraka. Atmakaraka and Amachakaraka combined with Bhratrukaraka. See this. Please see this carefully. Bhratrukaraka signifies publication. He is exalted. Atmaka Bhratrukaraka BK. A3, Lord of A3 and BK. So BK is exalted. That is a good point for publication. He combines with Atmakaraka good. He combines with Amachakaraka. That is also good. So running a magazine for 60 years. So then he is combined with Putrakaraka Jupiter. See how strong is this one, BK. And the sun is not only just Atmakaraka, he is Yogada and Rajayoga Karaka. Sun is not just Amachaka. Moon is Amachaka. Sun is not just Amachaka, he is Yogada, Rajayoga Karaka. All very important planet. So here the Puttarakaraka has all good connections. We have seen Sun is Yogada and he is Raj Yoga Karaka of two great Raj Yogas. So I already told in my earlier videos. I already told you in my earlier videos that Yogada is Arudha Lagna or Janma Lagna, Arudha Lagnadipati, Janma Lagnadipati, Atmakaraka, and upapada. All these four rolled into one is Yogada. Any combination which is stipulated for said defined with respect to Karkams Lagna may also be verified from Yogada. So here, see, Yogada combines with Ketu and Yogada AK moon combines with exalted planets. Yogada has mutual aspect with the PK Jupiter. The second house from Yogada is aspected by Mercury in the so the need to acquire. So I repeat. So here this paragraph refers to the 4 planets in Makara. I already told you that Sun is Yogada. So Sun combines with Ketu, Atmakaraka moon. Sun is Amachakaraka. He combines with Putrakaraka. The second house from Yogada is second from house from Yogada is Kumbha. It is aspected by Mercury. It is that is the Karaka for astrology. So the need to acquire profound knowledge in astrology. Still, I am at a miss to understand why Venus, the Lord of A5, has isolated without any having anything to do with A5 or fifth from A5. But to compensate this, that is a very good combination of Jupiter and with Sun, Moon, Mars, and Ketu. So I think that balances this deficit. Now let us study his profession through is a D10 chart. We must try to find out if there is a combination to show that the native is an author, a scholar, a publisher, and a businessman. So the padas are for business A7, for publication A3, for scholarship then A5. So these all these padas must be connected to Arudha Labha or Lord of Arudha Labha A10 or Lord of A10. So the formula will be so Arudha Labha, the Lord of Arudha Labha, A Rajyapada A10, Lord of A10 and Amachakaraka is expected to be connected to A3, Lord of A3 is Pratrupada, A3, Lord of A3 and BK, Pratrukaraka. That is one set. A5, Lord of A5 and Putrakaraka. That is another set. Then A7, Lord of A7, then Darakaraka, Darapada, Lord of Darapada and Darakaraka. So 3 into 3, there are 9 Vurtikarakas here. And they all must be connected to Arudhalava or A10 or their lords and Amachakaraka. You see, that is Arudhalava, Rajyapada, A10, their lords must be connected to the Padas A3, A5, A7, their lords, their Karakas, and also to their natural Karakas, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus in the D10 chart. See how they are connected. Here, the D10 chart, Arudha Labha is Mithuna, and Arudha, the Arudha Labha is Mithuna, Rajyapada is Vrshabha, Putrapada is Tula, Ratripada is Dhanus, and the Dharapada is Mithuna. So, see the pattern in the chart. Arudha Labha, Mithuna is the same as A7, Dharapada. So, Arudha Labha is connected to Dharapada already. It is aspected by A3 from Dhanus. So Arudha Labha is connected to A3 and A7. So like this, it becomes very simple in the end. So Arudha Labha Mithuna is the same as Dharapada A7. They are in mutual aspect with Dhanus, where A3 falls. Then you come to, so 2 padas are over. Then you come to 5th pada. So Arudha Rajyapada A10 Vrshabha is in mutual aspect with Putrapada A5 Tola. So all the 3 padas are over. A3, A7, A5. The 10th from A10 is Kumbha, which is the same as the 5th from A5 and 3rd from A3. So it is clear that A3, A7 are connected to Arudha Labha. A5 is connected to Rajyapada. Now, we will show TC, we will see if the lots of these padas You have to see in padas. Then you have to see laws, then tarakas also. So now see the lots of these padas are connected to uh, the Arud Labha or 8 or 8 lots. So before we go further, there are two noteworthy points in this detailed chart. See, the Putrapada Tola is occupied by all important Yogada, Rajayoga Karaka son. He is debilitated. Then the Lord of the all important Pada Kumbha, Saturn, is also debilitated. They are in 1-7 position from each other. So A5 is occupied by one debilitated planet. The 7th from A5 is occupied by another debilitated planet, which is one worrying factor here. So there is some Raja Yoga here. Let us see. See the 8th Sutra. 8th Sutra in the first pada of the third Adhyaya, Adhyaya 3, pada 1, Sutra 8. So, Patni Labhayoha Samana Kalaha. Patni Labhayoha Samana Kalaha. See, in Jaimini Sastra, sutras are of no use because you do not know the meaning. Commentators give different contradictory meanings also. So, meaning that if there are equal number of planets in the first and 7th houses from Lagna, or it is a Raja Yoga. Equal number of planets in first house and 7th house from Lagna. And this is further extended to Aruda Lagna and Aruda Saptama. And it is still further extended to any pada or the 7th from any pada. That means here Putrapada is occupied by one debilitated planet. The 7th from Putrapada is occupied by another debilitated planet. The equal number of planets. Those planets must be of equal status also. That is, we will come to it in next paragraph. Further, the 14th Sutra in the same third pada in the same Adhyaya number 3, it says, Tasmin Uche Niche Pitrulabhayo Srimantaha. Uche Nicheva. That means either in exaltation or in debilitation. So that is, if the Lagna and the 7th house have exalted or debilitated planet, the native has a Raja Yoga. They must have equal number of planets. Those planets must be of equal status. That is a simple thing. So if now read the two sutras together, and if there are same number of planets in the first and the 7th houses, and if the planets in the first and 7th houses are in the same status, whether they are in exaltation or in debilitation or in own house, Raja Yoga arises. Here, the same the sage Parasara stated these combinations with reference to Arudha Lagna. And it may be further extended to the other extended to the combination may be applied with reference to any pada, because these principles which are stated with reference to Arudha Lagna may be applied to with reference to any pada. So it's already a well-known principle. All the principles we apply with reference to Arudha Lagna may equally apply, may be applied with equal force to any other pada. For example, the 11th house of Arudha Lagna is occupied by good planet, it is good. Similarly, the 11th house of any pada, Putrapada, Dharapada, or Bhratrapada is occupied by any benefic planets, it is good. And it gives them awards. So the same. So any of the bad planets occupying the 12th house, malefic planets occupying the 12th house from Arudha or any pada is bad. So the principle is the same. That is, because those principles which have stated with reference to Arudha Lagna may be applied with reference to any pada by Putrapada or Bhratrapada. Here, in this D10 chart, there is one debilitated planet in Tola, that is Uttarapada. There is another debilitated planet in 7th house, that is Saturn, debilitated there. So here, a Raj Yoga arises in Tula, where the all-important Yogadana Raj Yoga Karaka sun is debilitated in Putrapada. So, a Raj Yoga arises in Tula, where Putrapada is there and sun is debilitated. And in Mesha, where Saturn is debilitated. Saturn is the all-important lord of the Kumbha, which is third from A3, fifth from A5, and seventh, fifth from A5, third from A3, and tenth from A10. So the second point is, this is one important point in this chart. We have learned a new Raja Yoga. There is a parivartana between Mars and Jupiter. Parivartana between Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter is Putrakaraka, Mars is Bhratrakaraka. Bhratrakaraka is for publication, Putrakaraka is for writing and publication. So let us verify the combinations once again. Arodhalabha connected to Midhuna, occupied by A7, aspected by A3. From then Jupiter, from Dhanush, BK Mars, from Mena, and Jupiter, Arudalabha, Mithuna is occupied by A7, aspected by A3, aspected by Mars, aspected by Jupiter. So, you see the Karakas. Then Jupiter is assumed to be present in Mena. So Arodha Labha is further aspected by Mercury, the Lord of Arodha Labha, and Lord of A7, and by Ketu. Both Mercury and Ketu are the natural karakas of astrology and publication. So Rajyapada A10. What are the connections? Rajyapada A10 is Vrishabha, and it is expected by Yogada, the Rajyoga Karaka, and AMK Sun from A5 Thola. So A10 is connected to A5 and AMK. Lord of Rajyapada Venus, again another side heading. The Tarakaraka combines with Atmakaraka Moon, and they are that is Dharakaraka combines with Atmakaraka Moon. So any Karaka, if he combines with Atmakaraka, that Karaka becomes very prominent. Atmakaraka, and they have mutual aspect with the K5 Tola and the Yogada AMK Sun, and also with Saturn, the Lord of Kumbha. So the Dharakaraka and Lord of Aten, Venus, is connected to AMK Sun, and Lord of Kumbha, Saturn, GK. AMK Sun is connected to A10. AMK Sun is connected to A10 in Vrishabha. The Lord of A10 and DK Venus, AK Moon in Simha, and Saturn, who is the Lord of Kumbha. Also, we can notice a parivartana between AMK Sun and DK Venus. So if we assume Venus to be in Solar, the A5, and Venus, the DK, comes into aspect A10 and Kumbha also. So now you verify the checklist. A Arodhalabha, Midhuna, A10, Lord of A10, Arodhalabha, Mercury, the Lord of A10, Venus, are connected to A5 Tola, Lord of A5 Venus, EK Jupiter, A3 Dhanus, Lord of A3 Jupiter, EK Mars, A7 Midhuna, Lord of A7 Mercury, DK Venus, and AMK Sun. So all the connections are. Now see the combination for given by Jaimini. Combinations given by Jaimini. If the Karakamsha Lagna or the second from or fifth from Karakamsha Lagna are connected to Jupiter, Moon, Venus, Mercury, the native is an author. So here the combination may be applied with reference to Atmakaraka or Yogada. See, here the Karakamsha Lagna is Simha. The Lord of Karakamsha Lagna is Sun. The Yogada and all important planet. So Karkamsa Lagna Simha is occupied by Moon and Venus. This itself is a great combination for authorship. B. The second from Karkamsa Lagna is Kanya. It is aspected by Mercury, Ketu from Dhanus and Jupiter. If we can assume Jupiter to be in Meena because of his exchange with Mars. So the fifth from Karkamsa Lagna is Dhanus. It is occupied by Mercury and Ketu. It is aspected by Jupiter from Meena. Again, when we consider Jupiter to be in Meena. Raja Yoga, see, AK Moon combines with Venus DK and the Lord of A10 and also A5. So AK Atmakaraka combines with Lord of A5 and A10 and Dharkaraka. A very important Karaka. AK Moon and AMK Sun. PK Jupiter, DK Mars. AK Moon, PK Jupiter as aspect Saturn, the Lord of Kumbha. So these are all important Raja Yogas. These combinations clearly indicate the progress of Dr. BV Raman and it tells us about his human service to astrology. Thank you.